Welcome back, everyone. Today on the channel we're going to be talking about the X-Men 4-player cabinet from Arcade1Up. And this was initially announced at CES of 2021. And I haven't really talked about it much on this channel. I know a lot of you are excited about this cabinet, a lot of you are passing. But we're just going to go through what we know so far. I know there's a lot of stuff that's been alleged that they may do with this cabinet or features they may add, because I don't think that they finalized a lot of stuff with this cabinet as far as I know. But I'm just going to cover what is on the actual website, not what people have talked about on podcasts or any of that stuff, because I typically don't watch a lot of the podcasts that some of you do watch. So I'm just going to talk about what I know. And I will go through the games list. I will show some gameplay at the end of the video. So if you want to just see the games list and just see the gameplay for those games on here, then you can just click down in the bottom. I'll have it bookmarked so you can just hop to that part and just miss me talking about it. Because I'm going to tell you right now, probably a lot of you aren't going to like what I say. But that is what I'm here to do. I'm going to tell you my opinions about this cabinet, what I think, and take it for what it is. We're not going to agree on every cabinet. Some cabinets you're going to like, I'm not. That's perfectly fine. I don't expect you to like every cabinet that I like. And I'm not going to like every cabinet that you like. So that's just how I do business here. I give you my opinion and 100% honesty, and that's all I can do. So let's first get into the design of the cabinet. So the design of the cabinet itself, I do like the side artwork. I think it's really consistent with the original arcade unit. It looks early 90s. It looks like it, like I said, it looks almost identical to the actual original arcade cabinet. The 4-player cabinets, I don't think any of them aesthetically look very good. I think they're just awkward and goofy, and they're just hard to fit in your game room, and that is, a big issue just with the 4-player ones. Obviously it's fun to have the 4-player ones, because then you can have, you can obviously include 4 players, which includes more people, but it's just, in my experience, it's harder to find a place to put these in your game room, and they just don't line up as well with other cabinets. But that's not a fault of the design. That's just kind of, it is what it is as far as 4-player cabinets. The riser I don't like all that much. Now, similar on the actual arcade unit, it kind of used this little pattern here, but they use more of a purple color, and this is just like a brownish color, and I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling that unless it just is appearing to be brown. But if this is going to be purple like they kind of use on the actual arcade cabinet, that would, I think, then that would be better. But if they're going to use this brown from what it looks like to me, then I don't necessarily like that. The riser is kind of like the same issue. The riser, it looks almost like it's more purple and kind of up here on the graphics or the bezel around here. This looks almost more purple. This almost looks more purple, closer to the color of the actual arcade cabinet. This looks more brown. Maybe that's just the rendered photo. But if this is brownish, then I'm not a huge fan. The graphics on the front look okay, but it really looks like this is the exact same picture of Cyclops, Nightcrawler, and Wolverine. I wish they would use a different, maybe in a different pose or something like that. So that is okay. The coin door on the front. Now I know this is another thing to where I don't think it says specifically on here that I don't know if this is going to be a faux coin door or just a decal. Now, on the Midway ones that have gone out, they used a decal, but I think that they have said that they may do like an actual faux coin door around here. And I know some of you guys like these. The decal that I've seen on the Midway, I do not like. I think it looks extremely cheap. I'm not a fan of the coin door decal. If you give me a faux coin door, which is actually like plastic, then I think that would be pretty cool. The decal, if you give me the decal like this, the first thing I'm going to do is just go to Arcade Graphics and put a decal right on top of it. So it doesn't matter. Probably I'm going to do that with their standard kick plate here anyways, but if this is just a decal, it's getting covered up, so I'm not a fan of that. I do like how the light up marquee comes out to the edge. I'm also not a fan of on the Midway cabinet how they have that recessed. I do like just the fact that it looks like it's pretty flush up here. The new cabinet different cabinet design, I do think that the form of the cabinet looks pretty nice. So I mean, all in all, I mean, it looks, if you're an X-Men fan or you're a fan of this game, I think you'll be probably pretty pleased. It's nothing horrible about it. Like I just like, I think it's pretty average, to be honest. But as far as like what it has with it, a big thing is going to be the Wi-Fi playability. So that is definitely a huge plus, that they're going to have, you're going to have your light up marquee with this. You're going to have your Wi-Fi playability, and these are cool, definitely cool things to add. I think they need to. It's like, why they don't have that on the Midway Legacy, I think is pretty bad. But I think that needs to be, they kind of need to standardize that going forward, and that's just in my opinion. You can disagree with me, and that's completely fine. But I think, especially for like fighting games and like and just beat 'em ups and stuff like that, that is definitely a huge plus to have. Now the games list. So the games list, they have, you're going to get the X-Men, which is a 4-player game, and it supports up to 6 different characters. Now I know a lot of people want them to make a 6-player cabinet, because there was a 6-player version of this cabinet in the arcades, and I just don't know. I just don't know. That to me would just be so ugly and so awkward. How they, I mean, I don't know how they would do that. I get it that would be cool for a lot of people. I mean, yeah, I'll pass. But regardless, the X-Men game supports four players, and that's a really good beat 'em up. So I know like a lot of people love that beat 'em up. I'm not going to disagree. I think that's a really good beat 'em up. I like it myself. I've played it a lot in the arcades, and I think it's a great beat 'em up. The next one is going to be Captain America and the Avengers, and that's another one. I think that, I'm pretty sure that supports up to 4 players as well. I've played that one quite a bit in the arcades also, and that's another really good beat 'em up. So I really like those 2 games. Both are good beat 'em ups. I mean, they're not my favorite, but I think they're especially if you're nostalgic for those games. If you're an X-Men fan, if you're an Avengers fan, then I definitely get the appeal here. So it's not that I don't get the appeal. Now the third game on here is the Avengers and Galactic Storm. I honestly had never heard of this game. I'd never played it. I've never watched a review, so I have no idea if this game is great or if it sucks. I have no idea what people even think about this game, to be honest. I've played it for a couple times on MAME. I've tried it out on MAME. I've tried it out on one of my modded cabinets, and I will tell you this much: like it's like a team fighting game. So is what it is, more or less. It's nothing that would ever play. So, which I don't have a huge problem with that. I have said recently a lot that I'm fine with them putting fewer games on here as long as they match the format of the cabinet. I'm not a big fan of them throwing games on cabinets that don't match, to where they don't have the right screen ratio or the controls don't match. All 3 of these games fit the format of this cabinet. So there are 3 games that fit the format of this cabinet, control wise, screen wise, and I'm fine with that. So I think that's okay. I don't necessarily think they need to have 6 or 12 games on every cabinet. So I think that's not a big deal. And it is a fighting game, so it changes it up. I don't think it's a very good fighting game from what I've experienced of it. If you're nostalgic for that game and you think it's a great fighter, then more power to you. Then I guess you really would be excited for this cabinet. But it's not something that I would ever play after trying it out. I think it's a pass for me. Now the issue everything up to now, there's nothing like, I'm not, just transparency, I'm not getting this cabinet. Like I said, I will play this, if I want to play these, I play them on my modded cabinet. I get that not everybody wants the modded cabinet, and you like the artwork of this. You're an X-Men fan, you're a Avengers fan, and you like the artwork on here, and you want to get it for that. I get that. That's perfectly fine, and you should. If you want it and you're excited for it, you should be, and you should grab it. The only real issue that I have is the pricing, which we don't know pricing yet. I'm just curious as to what they're going to do. I think that this needs to be priced at $3.99 max. If this is any higher than $3.99, then I think it's really just, I don't think it's a good buy. I think they're just taking I think they're trying to, I don't know, I think they're trying to take advantage of the X-Men and Marvel fans, in my opinion. I don't see this as being higher than a $3.99 cabinet, which like I said, personally, I think they should do more cabinets like this in this model, like I said, I'm not particularly interested in this cabinet, but the 2-3 games I'm fine with a lower price. So as long as this is priced accordingly, if this is at $399, then I think it's a pretty decent buy. I don't know that they're going to do that. I can see them probably doing this as like a 450 or a 500 with a stool or something like that. And I just don't think. I think that's too high. Obviously, you're welcome to your own opinion, what you think things should be priced and what they should not be priced. You may see the value there at 500 or 450. If you're a huge Marvel or X-Men fan, I can get that, and you're perfectly entitled to your opinion. I just don't see the value in the product past $399. But like I said, I could see them doing a stool bundle to try to boost it up to hit that 500 mark. They're trying to hit that 500 mark on a lot of their stuff. I feel. And that's just my opinion. I think they're going to use this licensing and try to put it at a $500 price tag. But that's my opinion. Like I said, push the dislike. If you don't agree with me, you don't like my opinion, that's fine. But that's what I'm here to give as my opinion. So let me know what you think. If you think that this, if you're kind of agreeing with me to where like I'm fine with the 2-3 games as long as they fit the purpose of the cabinet and then are in the right price point. So I get it that the TMNT cabinet came out, what, 2 years ago now, a year and a half, 2 years ago, and it was a similar cabinet, but did not have Wi-Fi, did not have the light-up marquee, and I think that started at $399. But I think we've also come to expect more out of Arcade1Up since then. That cabinet, I think, in my opinion, that cabinet should have had both of those things for $399. I think they were innovating at the time, and at the time that was like one of the first cabinets. That was our gateway cabinet. What we've talked about, a lot of us got into these cabinets for that price, but after time passed with those 2 games on there, just the 2 games on there, no Wi-Fi to kind of add more replayability to it, no light-up marquee. I think a lot of us, you may have felt happy about it, but I mean that's why I modded my cabinet, because I kind of felt like it actually, in hindsight, wasn't that great of a deal at $399. I feel like without the light-up marquee, without the Wi-Fi, I think that should have been more like $350 or something like that, which I think I got mine for $370. I think I got it on sale for $360 or $370, but I feel like the $350 should have been its start retail price at, and that's my opinion. So regardless, that's how I feel. Let me know what you think. I know a lot of you are excited by this cabinet. I know a lot of you aren't going to be happy. Sorry, but now to the games list.
In the 21st century, evil mutants led by Magneto aim to destroy the world. Humans can do nothing against the power of the evil mutant. The only hope is X-Men.
Avengers assemble! Help! Leave it to me!